Tank Commanders assemble. The Toronto Raptors, they continue their masterful tank job. They understood the assignment in this one, guys. The Raptors lose to the Detroit Pistons again. And while there are mixed opinions to this game, some people boycotting, saying, I'm not watching the Raptors anymore this season, there are a good portion of people that understand what exactly the Raptors are doing. They are in full-on tank mode. They are going out there wanting to lose these games in hopes of keeping their 2024 first-round pick. And why not? I know this team was all on board in terms of trying to go for it. Season obviously fell apart with the injuries. Now, Raptors, it makes sense for them to lose all these games and try to keep their 2024 first-round pick. So at least there is something that they can get after this terrible losing season. You want to pick. You want the help now, especially as this team has just begun its rebuild. So we're going to talk about this, guys. Do me a solid. Hit a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I mean, at face value with this game, not much to talk about. The Raptors, they did not look good against a Pistons team that beat them for the second time this season. The Pistons win the season series against the Raptors. Remember, the Detroit Pistons beat the Raptors, which ended their 28-game losing streak in December. This time around, though, the Pistons have actually been playing much better. The Pistons are on a bit of a heater. They've won 3 of their last 4. Meanwhile, the Raptors, they have lost 5 in a row, which is the longest active losing streak in the NBA. And quite frankly, the Raptors, they could very well be the worst team in the NBA right now because the Pistons are winning games. The Wizards won the other day against Miami. Spurs have a win within the last week. And yeah, the Raptors and the Hornets have won, I think, a few times as well. So the Raptors, they have been doing a ton of losing, which is part of the game here. Obviously, this team is in a full-on tank. They've lost 5 in a row, 7 of their last 8. As you look at the Raptors here, they were missing all their starters except for Emmanuel Quickley, who was a go late before this game. He was questionable along with Gary Trent Jr. We did not see Gary Trent Jr. Quickly did give it a go. He had 25 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Did have a nice game. Did struggle from 3, though, but it wasn't enough because the Detroit Pistons, they got just solid game from Duren. He had 24 points, 23 rebounds, and we see it. With the Raptors not having Pirtle, these big men are dominating inside. Cade Cunningham, he had 19 points. Ivy had 14. As you look at the Raptors, the only bright spot in this one was that Ramsey dunk. He absolutely had a highlight reel dunk in this one. I mean, that's what you're going to be remembering from this game if you're a Raptors fan, because outside of that, this was just a tough go and some pretty ugly hoops. I mean, Raptors shot at 9 of 36 from 3, didn't shoot it well from the field. You look at the Raptors, like I said, they got dominated on the glass. 58 to 37. They did dominate the Pistons in the points in the paint. The Detroit Pistons, they made up ground in that third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, they then pulled away. As this is a Detroit team that they've obviously been playing much better. They are starting to win some games, and you look at them, I mean, they're going to be building their team around a Duren, a Cade Cunningham, an Ivy, whereas the Raptors, very thin once again, very shorthanded, missing their starters except for Quickly. Obviously, Barnes remains out. There's no timetable still for his return. He is, in all likelihood, going to miss the rest of the season. Jakob Poeltl is out indefinitely. RJ Barrett, he missed his game due to personal matters. I hope he's okay because he was actually a scratch from this game yesterday when obviously RJ followed up a very, very nice outing, the one that he had against the Denver Nuggets. And then, like I said, Quickly and Trent Jr. were both questionable. Quickly went and played, but Trent Jr. did not. As the Raptors saw Olynyk play 31 minutes, Bruce Brown played 33 minutes. We saw Abaji play 26 minutes. He had a big goose egg. Grady Dick got another start. He did struggle from the field, though. 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. And then Wara had 12. And Porter, Jonte Porter's been playing well. I liked what I've seen from him. He had 4 blocks in this one, 10 points, obviously following up on a nice outing he had against the Denver Nuggets. So that's basically the reality of the situation, guys. This is what it's going to be for the Raptors over the last 16 games of this season. It's going to be, some positives that you can look at, but there's going to be a lot of bad hoops. And, we saw kind of the contrast, right? Where the Raptors, as shorthanded as ever, put up a fight and nearly upset the Denver Nuggets, which would have been the biggest upset of the season, to just falling flat on their face and looking pretty mediocre against a Detroit Pistons team that has been very, very bad this season. I know they've been playing better lately, but still, I mean, the Pistons are 12-53. They're going to end up with a very bad record, one of the worst records when looking back on it. So the Raptors, like I said, I mean, it's pretty evident, guys, that they're going to be gunning for that sixth worst record to try to get that sixth pick, which is the right call in this situation, because I know people are saying it's a weak draft class, conveying now, but the thing is, I mean, this team, they want something at the end of this terrible losing season. And perfect world, the Raptors do get a top 6 pick. This rebuild goes to plan. This time next year, the Raptors are in a far better situation. Guys are healthy. Maybe the 2025 first round pick, losing it, is not going to hurt the Raptors as much because they're going to be in a better position, you would hope, a year from now. But now, given what has gone on with the injuries, this team's derailed, nowhere near the play-in, it does make sense to just fall back here. And I know it's out of their control. What sucks is they could do all this losing and then they can end up not even getting that pick, and then it would convey. But that's basically the situation they find themselves in as a fallout of the Jakob trade. So I am very, very interested in the Raptors keeping this pick. I think, they want it at this juncture of the season. And just some housekeeping notes here. For those of you wondering about the whole race for the 6th worst record, Raptors lost, Grizzlies lost. Right now, the Raptors are a half a game up on the Grizzlies, but the Grizzlies have played one more game than the Raptors. I do want to point out, if the Raptors and Grizzlies both finish with the 6th worst record at the end of the season, the 6th best odds in the 2024 NBA draft will be decided on a coin flip. So this thing could come down to a coin toss for the Raptors. Hopefully the Raptors can create some separation. I thought the Grizzlies were going to lose going up against the Hornets. They did not. But if the Raptors keep losing these games, 16 games is still a good enough sample size for the Raptors to make up ground and, hold on to that 6th worst record, which would give them a 45.8% chance of landing the 6th pick. So there are still plenty of games left this season. I mean, 16 is quite a bit. So there is a lot that could still happen, a lot more shuffling. But in terms of the 5th worst record, I don't see the Raptors catching up on the Blazers. This is going to be a race for the 6th worst record, clearly. This is going to be a tank job for the ages. But yeah, guys, the Raptors lose against the Pistons. It was not as feel good as obviously their performance against the Denver Nuggets. The Raptors are going to have 2 games coming up against the Orlando Magic. Those are going to be tough outs. And we'll see who's available for this Raptors team, because at this point, it's like a couple guys play, a couple guys are out, and this team has just been depleted. And just to put the final touch on this video, the Raptors do end their road trip 0-4. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching.